I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like...
Well, give up then.
No!
Jesus!
Hello everybody and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jen T. Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder if this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like...
Well, give up then.
No!
Jesus!
Hello everybody and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Jen T. Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis Down Under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like,
Well, give up then.
No.
Jeepers!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxey in Canada and Terry Diamantis Down Under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like,
Well, give up then.
Yeah, but yeah.
No.
Jesus!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxie in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my now. It's like,
Well, give up then.
no.
Jeepers!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxie in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like,
Well, give up then.
no.
Jeepers!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxie in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
That was my first moment of real doubt. When I started to wonder, this whole thing was a mistake. So then I went back to my office. And there was a new casualty list waiting for me. People are dying out there every day. Entire worlds are struggling for their freedom. And here I am, still worrying about the finer points of morality. No, I had to keep my eye on the ball, winning the war, stopping the bloodshed. Those were the priorities. So I pushed on, and every time another doubt appeared before me, I just found another way to shove it aside.
I feel like I've lost my purpose now. It's like,
Well, give up then.
Yeah, but yeah.
No.
Jeepers!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm usually joined by two of my favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxie in Canada and Terry Diamantis down under. You can find us on Rumble every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we bring in YouTube at 9 p.m. to simulcast on YouTube as well. Hope you have time to stop by.
Minions of the Zoo. In space! Good evening.
Good evening, infidels.
Still haven't got that money off you yet.
Na, 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 na.
And
I
national
don't care
treasure
if he's
means
British.
that.
I don't care if he's British. Warwick Davis is my treasure.
No, that's fair enough, but you can't claim him as a national treasure because he's British. Therefore, he's a British national treasure.
Okay, he's a treasure. All right, shut up.
Oh, so now you're saying he should be put in a box and buried? You monster!
Get the fuck
Wow.
up. You're welcome.
Sorry, dear.
You're welcome.
There we go. Uh-huh. Kind of tired, but now I'll get over it. Eventually.
I'm hurting, but I'm good.
Same, actually.
Get disgusted with the Trump administration, but you know.
What's it done
No,
this time?
Well, okay.
Okay.
My issue is he's having this pissing match with Gavin Newsom, and
Well, Gavin is actually starting it this time.
well, yeah, but
Doesn't matter, does it?
there's a pissing match is the point. Never mind who starts it. The point is there's a pissing match, and people are saying, "Oh, let's see who's going to win this time." It's like, look, my point is that
Pardon me.
Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California, for anyone who's not aware, engaged in the COVID lockdowns and bypassed the state legislature and violated the civil rights of American citizens. These are federal crimes. He's corrupt as all hell. And he's not in jail. Who the fuck do you think is winning? Gavin Newsom is winning because President Trump is too big a chicken shit to arrest anybody of any note who's committed any serious crimes. And I'm fucking tired of it.
I agree. I think there needs to be some arrests done. This is just getting ridiculous.
Well, this isn't. I've said this before. It's not just arrests. It's arrests that aren't taking place in the face of overwhelming evidence.
Yeah.
And I'm just fucking tired of it. Bongino, Bondi, and Patel keep talking this big game, but
Bongino dropped the ball. Bongino
they're-
dropped this ball.
they're the epitome of limp dick syndrome.
Yep. And what's worse is, like, I used to listen to Dan Bongino's show on his talk show all the time, every morning, right?
Yeah.
Like every afternoon that he was on, he would always be like, Epstein didn't kill himself. Epstein didn't kill himself. He would be like that over and over. He would repeat it all the time. And whenever he got in, he turned a whole leaf and he was like, "Oh, he didn't kill himself."
Yeah,
Give me a break, dude.
I'm tired of this shit. I mean, look, at this point, the Trump administration is pro-child rape, and I'm tired of it because they're not doing anything on that issue either.
Yeah.
You know, I've come to the conclusion that every political party in the Western world is the same political party.
Yes, very much. I'm pretty much there too.
Not even different flavors.
Nope.
Different rappers, that's all.
Yeah. Our political system in the West is essentially what Henry Ford said about buying cars back when he was running things at the Ford Motor Company. He said you could have any color you want as long as it's black. And that's basically where we're at with our political system, with our political parties and whatnot. They're not opposite sides of the same coin. They're just the same coin.
Yep.
Well, see, if I were to describe myself, it'd be a pro-liberty advocate, because I'm not an activist. Activists are just idiots.
I think I've become a don't care anymorist.
Activists are gay.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I
Why?
don't.
Why?
He's the monarchy of himself.
More Tholian ships are on the way here.
No, it's not. I've got absolute power. If I don't want to learn anything from you, I will not.
Never
In fact,
underestimate the power of an idiot. Well, look here.
Actually, a single idiot would be worse because
without individual idiots.
A group of idiots isn't as bad as a single idiot in power, because a single idiot in power will do exactly what he wants and actually do it. A group of idiots in power will argue.
Yep.
True. Like they do all the time.
So at least the group of idiots are forestalling the inevitable by a few days.
Yeah. Nuts.
Except that they refuse here.
If the idiot has all the power, you've got no chance.
Yeah, if the power is divided up by many idiots, or amongst many idiots, you have a chance.
Yeah.
Shit can get done.
If
The
you
problem is, at least in America, the people are refusing to act as well.
That's where the problem lies. Because we could
We're not
easily
giving-
turn around. We could easily turn around and demand that the people that we elect, with our vote, not do something stupid like go and storm.
No, I'm not advocating violence yet.
But
Yeah.
we could, with our vote, show that we are not going to allow people to say that they're going to represent our interests and do what we ask them to do, just to turn around and have them sit there and do nothing.
Well, that's
Or
one way.
worse, do the opposite of what we elected them to do.
That's another thing. But
Oh,
Angela,
you mean
I
like
think-
my country?
Yes, actually, I think
What
I think a better system than voting these people in or out is to, if they don't do what we hire them to do, make no mistake, these are not our leaders; these are our employees.
Yep, they are. They need to actually fucking realize that.
We need to remind them of that.
Yeah.
And I think the best way we can do that is that, and again, this is one of those things. It's going to take courage on the part of the people to do this, and most people
People have
lack
gotten
this
too
kind
scared of the
courage.
government.
Hold on. Most people lack this kind of courage, but we have to refuse to do business with these people. What I mean by that is, if Dan Bongino wants to not do his job, not make those arrests that I mentioned in the face of overwhelming evidence against the accused, then we should stop letting him shop in our stores and eat in our restaurants. If
Yeah.
he shows up, kick him out.
Yep. Refuse service.
Yes, I know that.
That's
what
the
I mean.
point.
That's where the courage comes in here. Yeah, but there are two kinds of people in that scenario, Tyr. There are people who disagree with my position who will do that, and people who agree with my position but don't care and just want the money who will do that. And those are usually desperate people like mom and pop business owners. Well, again, Tyr, this, you're thinking on too small a scale or something, I think. In the scenario you just described, it would be up to the patrons of that restaurant Y. Like you said, restaurant X, we won't let him eat here, but so he'll go to restaurant Y, and restaurant Y is happy to let him eat there. Well, then all the customers of restaurant Y need to step up and tell the owners
And
of
just
restaurant
stop
Y,
going.
we're not eating at your place anymore as long as you're serving this guy who protects criminals.
What if you could somehow finagle a law whereby
No
any
laws.
hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Any
Sorry.
politician who breaks their electoral promises can be arrested for breach of promise. Because when you think about it,
how comfortable I am with that.
when you think about it, those electoral promises are a verbal contract.
Yes, but verbal contracts do have limits.
Yeah, but they should be treated as verbal contracts under law. No, he couldn't, because that was circumstances outside of his control. He tried to build the wall, right?
Hmm?
He tried to build the wall, though.
As long as you
Therefore, he didn't. He wasn't in breach of contract because he tried to fulfill the contract. But he tried. That means
as long
that
as
means he
you
wasn't
put
in
in
breach
the
of contract.
effort to get it done, you're not breaching your contract.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
No, Tyr, if you have a contract to do somebody's yard work on Tuesday, but on Tuesday a fucking tornado lands, are you in breach of contract? Exactly.
It doesn't matter what it's an act of. It's how external circumstances prevented you.
It's an external.
It
It's
is
an external force that's beyond your control.
Yeah.
The legislative body, the legislative branch is an external force beyond the executive branch's control.
See, I've got to admit,
the president does have veto power.
See, I've got to admit, you have created my first mentally subnormal, physically handicapped straw man to knock down.
What?
Your argument.
Oh.
It was the worst, most pathetic, weakest straw man I've ever seen.
Wait.
It's not.
What are straw man's powers? Sorry.
He can while away the hours conversing with the flowers.
Oh, okay.
If he only had a brain.
If he only had the powers. Sorry. Right, but that's just...
Only
now
if
we're
they're
getting
getting
into the
paid.
judiciary, and they're bricked up anyway.
It's
Like I said, that's the judiciary. Point being, when I was to counter what Batman was saying, I don't think we need laws. We just need courageous people.
we need to enforce these our laws that we already have.
Thank you.
I honestly believe that more laws is usually not the answer.
I'm not saying more laws. I'm saying enforce
is
the ones we
not the
have.
answer.
Yeah, on that point, yeah, I've got to agree. More laws is bad. You just need concise laws that are well defined and well understood.
Yep.
Which is why I hate the hate speech laws. Yeah.
I am quite impressed with your fleet. The Tholians are abandoning their bases and taking the remaining. I am quite impressed with your fleet. The Tholians
Look, even if 60% still want to do business with the likes of Deep State Dan, then that's still a pressure he's going to feel. The 40% who won't do business with him, that's still pressure he's going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't buy Reeboks? No, we're not selling to you. You're an asshole. We're not selling you shoes. Get out of our store.
Mm-hmm.
That's still pressure he's going to feel. Hey, you want to know why too? It's because you want to arrest this group and you're running a protection racket for this other group, and you're shielding this third group from prosecution as well. Screw you. Get the fuck out of my store.
And sadly
We're not
enough,
doing
you're
business
going
with
to
the
have
likes
to
of you.
actually.
Sorry, go on, Angela.
Sadly enough, you would have to bring that down to a family level as well.
Yes.
If they decide to go to a store to get their kid something, that's going to be something that their kid can't have because dad.
Right,
didn't
that's
do
going to
his
put
job.
even more pressure on them.
Yeah, and what Mitch is on about is already.
It sucks to have to do it.
And what Mitch said. And what Mitch was on about has already happened in the UK. I mean, admittedly, it was before Starmer got. Yeah, like I said, admittedly, it was before he got elected, but it still happened.
Yes. And even that one pub, it became international news. And just that one pub making it international news, that puts pressure on somebody.
Yeah, I'm just wondering
gives them
when
that very first oh shit kind of feeling. What if other people start going along too?
Yeah,
and then,
I'm just wondering when our fuckwit of a bunch of a government is going to give Gibraltar back to Spain and the Falklands to the Argentinians.
Well, it'll get even better because after enough pressure is applied, one of the first things they're going to start talking about is mandating that people have to do business with them. And then they've revealed themselves for the fucking tyrants that they really are.
Ours already have pretty much revealed them
yes,
for the
they
tyrants.
have, but people don't speak about it in those terms.
Apparently, no one loves Mexico more than people who refuse to live there.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's what I said. That's exactly what I said at the beginning. I mean, not exactly what I said. I framed it as it's going to require that people have courage. And we just don't. We don't care. As a people in the West, we just don't care, obviously.
It's not just that. It's most of us are just too lazy. We've got these other people to do that, all the jobs of governance for us. Yeah, just let them do it. That's the mentality.
I know what you're saying there, but I'm not talking about doing the job of government. I'm talking about making sure that government does the job we hire them to do. We don't care if they do. We don't care if those if those criminals are prosecuted, obviously, because we're just standing by and letting it happen. We think that the vote is the only way that we can have an impact, and it's not.
The Romulans have cloak mines next to the transports. Keep an eye out.
Because I don't want to be in office. I'm exactly the kind of candidate they want, because they will have me shot, they'll blame some other group for it, and use my death as an excuse to exact even more tyranny. Fuck that.
Yep.
If you want honesty, I'm actually thinking about running for office. My campaign slogan being, I don't want it, and that's what you need.
Excellent work. Few more to go.
All right.
I made one excuse.
Help.
Yeah, I would run for office, but it's the
I
idea
know.
of running that puts me off. I mean, I'm lazy. I don't want
I
to
would
exercise.
run for office, but I'd fall over.
That's basically what I was joking about.
I'll run as soon as you start doing campaign commercials for me. I don't have money, Tyr.
You need money to actually run now.
It
Yeah, that's a
requires
You always have
to
done.
It requires you to have money, and
Yep.
I don't have it. That is what's keeping me from running.
Basically, yeah.
Because I don't want the job, but I will do it, and I will do it according to what the job description says.
I won't. Yeah, fine philosophy. Until you're constipated. I do try to fix it. Arthur and I wrote fucking different amendments to the Constitution. And really, the way they... Did I finish? And I wasn't told? Sorry, I had to be a smartass
Tell
about
me
that.
why.
But the fact of the matter is, writing amendments to the Constitution, as much work as we put into that, these people don't pay attention to the Constitution as it is.
True.
That's not going to get anything done.
That's the problem with Gavin Newsom right now. He is not paying attention to the Constitution. He thinks that Trump's sitting in the fucking military.
Can I ask a question?
Is unconstitutional.
Can I ask a question? Have they ever paid attention to your constitution?
For about 23 minutes.
At some point in time, yes.
After it was ratified, it lasted about 23 minutes.
Facility Beta is safe.
Yeah, that's the point. That's exactly the point. I want people to not... I don't just want people to challenge themselves on these matters. I want them to challenge me too, because challenging me means I think things through a little more clearly.
Good point.
Like you're doing now. I'm all for this challenge.
Facility Alpha is back online.
You're challenging my idea about why I don't run. But I don't run because I have valid reasons not to.
And with comments like, I'm all for giving it to you too.
Maybe you think I'm paranoid about some of them. But go on. What?
Even though you've defeated their ships,
That what?
the Falcano...
You'll get more done. You will get more done locally.
You know,
Oh,
he
yeah,
comes
I
out
know
with
that.
comments like, and I'm all for giving it to you, and wonders why I call him gay.
What?
What about the... He already deflects the question, so he's actually pretty good for politics.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't let us fucking... I couldn't get the comment in time.
Okay.
What was the question, Tyr?
Excellent.
See?
The area is secure and we restored peace in the system.
Because I don't like my locale. Honestly. No, that's I don't no, there's a culture here of a kind of proud ignorance. I'm not look, I moved here from somewhere else, okay? And it was a bad idea because I am a fucking misfit in this place. I do not
Y'all are,
like
it's okay.
Well, yeah, I bet most of us are, no matter where we go. Oh yeah, I know that.
I think, okay,
I-
try being an atheist with mostly conservative friends and family.
No, I don't think
Tyr,
I'm being clear.
I think I've got a handle on how you feel, Tyr. You feel like a black American in a neighborhood where everybody walks about wearing ghost outfits. Yeah, that's what black Africans. There's this black African girl I watch on YouTube, and that's pretty much what
It
she
is for a
says
lot of
about
ghetto people, too.
black Americans. Yeah, yeah, they indulge in the victimhood mentality. They don't try and fix their own situations. They want handouts. And recently, she's
Wait,
been
Tyr,
laughing at these black Americans who've been moving to Africa to get away from the racism and move back to America. Oh, they don't like black Americans in Africa.
No, they don't.
Africans do not like... Yeah, Africans do not like black Americans.
Let me clarify. I think I should clarify what I mean by there's a culture of proud ignorance around here. It's not that they're idiots that think they're smart. Because you know a lot of the left, air quote left, okay, the far left, whatever. Those are idiots who think they're smart. They're not proud of their ignorance. They're proud of their alleged intelligence. What I'm talking about here is people who are genuinely proud of how stupid they are. That's not something I want to fight against.
Oh, yes.
I've been going against the tide my entire life, Tyr. Look at some of the posts I write. I mean, that's going against the tide. The tide 6 months ago was Trump. Yes, all right. Well, no, it's more than 6 months ago. Whatever. Let's call it the last election cycle. Was basically the mainstream, air quote mainstream tide was anti-Trump, and I went against that. But Trump gets elected, and I still think that was the right decision. Make no mistake. But Trump gets elected, and now I find myself, because of his inaction, I have to speak out against him. I can't just speak out against Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi. I have to speak out against him too because he's their fucking boss.
As people who support Trump, you have to make sure you have to speak out against stuff that even we disagree with. You have to. You can't.
And it's because we're intellectually consistent that we do that.
Yeah, and I mean, you're on about posts. You've seen some of the posts I put out.
Yes.
I could get arrested.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you very well could,
So
because of
So it's not like I'm going with the tide, Tyr. I'm not. Right now, all the people who would have been on my side 11 months ago, or shit, 8 months ago, will now probably not take my side because I'm pointing out the flaws in their what's the word they use? Cult of personality. I'm pointing out the flaws in their cult of personality.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm not taking no action because I'm afraid of going against the tide. I do it all the time. That's not the issue.
It's just like I was against Elon Musk for what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
When he was being a little bitch.
I like Elon Musk, but I don't trust him 100%.
Neither do I. I'm in the same boat.
You shouldn't
okay.
trust
Elon Musk
any
has
of
made too many mistakes.
I definitely trust him when it comes to technology, though.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But
I do address it though, Tyr. Look, you're operating under a Tyr. You're operating. Go on. Finish your thought.
it is.
I've got. Actually, yes, you do. You look at it, even in America, there is a definite class system and what I would call a hidden aristocracy nobility. Because everybody who gets high up in your politics comes from certain families. And another thing I was going to say is, yeah, the system we're on about. I don't think. Hold on, I let you finish. You let me finish. No, don't matter. Shut up. Let the stream be quiet for a minute. No, I'm joking. No, but seriously, yeah, the system isn't the system that we see. That's just a covering. The real system is hidden from us.
Well, yeah, as George Carlin said, it's a big club and you're not in it.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
But there's more to it than that, though. For one thing, I don't want to. It's well,
he did.
Tyr. This is where I'm going to point out the flaw in your premise, or in that premise. I'm not saying you came up with a premise. I'm saying, hey, look, there's a fucking premise, and here's the flaw in it. The flaw is assuming that the only way to affect change is to run for office. I have never expressed a desire to run for office. So I'm not being hypocritical or anything. It's not a shit or get off the pot scenario.
And who's just joined?
Oh,
right.
Here's another
There's
thing.
another thing with running for office. If you've ever noticed, people who do get into public office, into politics, those people who join with the best of intentions, they're going to fix it. Yeah.
Yes.
Those who join to fix, who enter to fix the system for the right reasons. Give them a year, give them 2 years, and they become exactly the same as everybody else around them.
Generally speaking, yeah, that's more
The
often true
people
than not,
who-
I think.
It's
want-
it's the old saying, isn't it? He who sleeps with wolves wakes up with fleas.
Yes.
Fuck my mic been muted. What the fuck?
You're
Okay,
welcome,
I kind of want to. I
audience.
kind of want to add. I kind of want to add to what Mitch is saying here.
Can I?
Here's the thing. Sorry.
We're
Here's
professional
the
here.
thing. We have the ability to bitch about whatever the fuck we want because of our First Amendment. I give it that. Boom. Done.
My grandma said when she said she always voted. There's a reason why she always voted, because when you had the chance to change the system and you did nothing, you got no right to bitch or complain about the person in power. You did nothing to affect the change.
And I'm saying that
tried to
there's
vote.
more
Hey, I
more
tried to
ways
vote, but
to
I
affect
couldn't
change than simply vote.
Yeah.
Well, I believe Angela was trying to say something, so let's let Angela say what she was going to
Yes.
say.
By all
I'm
means.
sorry about that, Angela.
I think I try to remember what I was commenting on because it's like 3
It
different
happened.
things
It
back. I think it was about the people running for the right reasons, changing
this
once they're
video.
in office. I think that's because there's still people who wanted the position, who wanted the power to go with it, and once you get that power, you're easily corrupted. When I say that my campaign will be, I don't want it, and that's what we need, it's because I don't want the job. But you need somebody doing the job because it's what needs to be done, not because they want the power that goes along with it.
Yeah.
That's why a lottery system would be superior, I think.
That's what I tried to tell you guys.
A lottery system would end up with, okay, well, it's picked randomly, and sometimes the person you picked is a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, see, that's just the thing. Even with the lottery system,
The system
you
is
need
flawed.
to have prerequisites in place.
There's no such thing as a perfect system.
Right.
I told you how to set that up. We had this conversation once already.
I don't
You have to
recall.
what?
I told you guys how to set that up, and Tyr decided to go off on me on that one too, and I
don't recall.
I think I want to. You turn around, you set up a system, and your problem was that because it's a computer system, there's going to be somebody that programs the computer.
But that's true.
You set up.
But
that isn't the argument here.
Let her finish.
You turn around and you choose every election cycle someone from each point of the political compass within a circle that indicates that they are capable of working together. That they're not so extreme in any direction on the compass that they can that they are incapable of compromise. You pick one person from each quadrant of the compass and the center. So there are 5 candidates for each office. And those are the people that get voted for. You actually would hold an election. But it would be people, basically, it starts with educating in civics, starting in elementary school, age appropriate, up until you graduate high school, where ideally people paid attention in school and have learned learned the Constitution. They're aware of the constitutional laws. And each person is put into a lottery that's picked by the computer based on those requirements. One person from each quadrant and one person from the center. Then you hold the election, and the person has the option. Well, the person who's picked from each quadrant has the option of saying, yes, I will do this, or no, I don't think I'm capable of doing this, based on their actual knowledge of the law.
That requires two factors that are too much of a variable. He who controls
yeah, this is what we did the last time.
Yes, he who controls
That's
who
why I
controls
didn't
the
wanna
spice
do
controls
that.
the universe. I'm just saying he who
I
controls the
didn't
spice
want
controls the
to.
universe.
I don't care. I didn't want to do this again. That was why I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to say, we've had this conversation. I told you exactly how it can be done. And you disagreed. So why do it again?
And we have so many disagreements on so many things. I can't remember all of them.
That's because we're living in an echo chamber according to the left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a broken echo chamber.
Because there's so many arguments and disagreements and hashing out of ideas and rehashing of ideas and trying to distill them down to a better product.
Now, getting back to what I was, one of the points I was making, holding an office is not the only way to affect change. I choose to affect change in other ways. One of the things I'm good at is being not just an idea person, but an observation person. I see things. I put things together. You know, and by doing that, you could call it a canary in a coal mine if you like, I guess, maybe. But I don't think that's an apt analogy.
Hold on, random human being. Oh, too late. Trying to revive you.
But oh yeah, holding office is not the only way to affect change. Sometimes being the people who spot the problems, can articulate the problems, see the flaws in the logic that are generated by the people causing the problems, those are valuable things too. Now, if you had a candidate who would be, there would be candidates who would be far more effective than me, far more charismatic, far more politically eloquent than I am, because I'm too quick to drop a fuck you. You know, when I think
Fair
it's right.
enough.
Now, if I'm working with that person, if I'm there to tell that person, look, here's the problem with this issue, and here's an approach that everyone's ignoring that we could utilize to achieve our ends, achieve our goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to affect change. I don't have to hold office to do that. And not only that, but I'm like a town crier in a way. I come on the live stream, we discuss a political issue, we analyze it, we debate it, and with any luck, enough minds are changed or enough people become informed so that they can take their own small actions. You know, start locally and all that. I've said for a long time, the best way to affect political change now is we need to be patient and start at the school board level, because fixing the schools is a great way to make sure that the future is secure. But you know, most people don't want to hear that. They want to think that they can vote one time and the country will improve immediately.
Yeah.
That's just not the case.
It's far easier to destroy it than it is to build it up. I get that.
Yeah. That's why Biden was successful at destroying it, because it's so much easier. Not like he could do anything else.
I
He
mean,
wants pictures of Spider-Man.
Again, it's easier to. It's what has taken eons to build up can be destroyed in a matter of days.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
No shit, that's how it always works, Tyr.
I was trying to be both philosophical and eloquent.
And facetious.
Yes.
Well,
being
you failed.
philosophical,
You were trying to be a philosophical elephant, right?
Yes.
He's being a full elephant.
Rome was it took Rome centuries to build its power. It took it weeks to lose that power.
So, in summation, Tyr, it's not a question of me shitting or getting off the pot. I'm just not sitting on the pot that you want me to sit on.
And fair enough. I mean, again, our views differ on this matter, and I respect your view. But that's what makes us friends.
Oh, yeah.
We don't always agree.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Like, sometimes, like you said, the what was it, Tari's thing? Tari would say, you should never agree with somebody 100% of the time, even if it's your friends.
Exactly.
Yep.
I agree.
Shouldn't even agree with
100%.
yourself 100% of the time.
Yeah. And this won't be the last time, nor will be the 15th
Oh, hell
time
no.
we've had these types of debates and disagreements. But we all come away like with a better understanding of each other and a better understanding
Yeah,
of the
we
position.
come away better for it.
You know,
Absolutely,
again.
we do.
All right, I'm fucking lost.
Shocker.
No, I hate this mission. No, I don't. I don't hate this mission. Yeah, I do.
I hate because I'm the only one who knows where I'm at, and and there I go.
No, it's not that. This mission is you rely heavily on other people doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what a team endeavor is supposed to be.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, gamers on computer games are all solo players.
Yes.
They all want to be the star of the show.
Again, I'm glad I maxed this
all
thing
of us
out.
included.
I'm so glad I used the ultimate token, ultimate tech upgrade on this. This thing just eats up people.
Oh yeah, it does. It's a good weapon, but I just hate the look of it. But the what was I gonna? God damn it!
Just remember, every game is a role-playing game.
If we were a team of 5 and we could just go into these things ourselves, then I could help to coordinate everyone's efforts. Batman could help to coordinate everyone's efforts. I think we're the two most experienced players in our little group. I could be wrong about that, but
I mean, y'all got
we've
more
played
screen time
together.
on this.
Yeah, I mean, Batman and I have played this game together for years, really, for a couple of years.
Pretty much.
So either one of us could be, if like I said, if it was a 5-man team of our people, we'd be like, okay, you stand here, wait for me to trigger the thing over there. When I trigger the thing over there, you trigger the thing over here. You know, we could have that kind of coordination, but we have other people who are not on our comms.
Yeah, and let's face it, we're all smart enough to know to do what the most experienced person in the group says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, man, the thing.
Yes, the thing with the stuff.
Hey, somebody call.
But yeah, see, my job right now is to point out where the Trump administration is an absolute failure. And that's largely in domestic policy.
Yeah, it has been a tremendous. Well, then again, he also hasn't had very good help either with the domestic problems.
And to be fair, he's been hamstringed at every juncture.
Oh yeah, he's being hamstrung
like
when it comes to like immigration and stuff. But the cases I'm talking about are cases where the evidence is overwhelming.
Like
I mean, you present if you were to present this evidence to a jury, they'd have no choice but to convict.
like you will never hear me disagreeing that I do believe he dropped the ball. They dropped the ball with the Epstein shit. Like we should know we had inklings of people on the list. We know at least 3 names on that list: Prince Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell, and the Clintons.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Don't get me started on the Clintons, damn it.
I'm just saying we know those are names we already know. We got speculation on who else is on there. We got names like Bill Gates. We also got names like
Tom Hanks.
Bezos.
yeah.
Bezos.
Yeah. We also got
Bless you.
we also got the Diddy shit, the Diddy party. We don't know who's been at a Diddy party, but we also got inklings of people that's been there. Ellen DeGeneres outed herself. Literally outed her fucking self.
3 times. I swear to God, Ellen's been to that fucking island many times. I think wasn't her background the fucking island?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
For
think
many
elements
years?
of her background on her talk show,
When the hell
the
did you
background
change?
imagery were
How did you fucking change your outfit that quick, Mitch?
right click on your icon,
Right.
and you'll have an option that says change outfit. And you can select from the outfits you've got saved.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that.
We do know.
Groovy.
Totally tubular, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's something.
You learned something. It's amazing.
I'm
Yeah,
insulted.
I mean, that's
The more you know.
I'm sorry, that was mean.
Alright,
That,
pick
that
another
was
random.
mean. I'm sorry.
Reading
What?
rainbow.
I said picking a random.
Well, since we've had a bit of the song brought up because of what I had for lunch at work today, I just want to remind everyone that peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown.
No, they were put there by a man in a factory in Japan.
Oh, I really hope not.
Jesus Christ, you don't know the song.
Nope.
Those
No.
should be plums.
Jesus Christ, superstar. Who in the hell?
Oh God, no! Don't.
Jesus Christ, superstar. He wears frilly knickers and a plastic bra.
Oh no.
Like it wasn't
no.
going for a rhyme there, bats. You know, it's the whole thing from the President of the United States of America, the song Peaches.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on.
God.
Y'all bring up Jesus Christ Superstar. Do you know that Cynthia Ebo, who played Alphaba and Wicked, wants to be both that and Storm?
I
understood
idea.
each individual word you said there, Tia, but I didn't understand what you said.
I don't recognize any of the names you mentioned.
Okay,
Alphaba.
Cynthia Erivo was in Wicked. She played Alphaba.
She played the Wicked Witch.
Apparently, she wants to play Storm and somebody else.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
She wants to play Jesus.
Yes, in Jesus Christ Superstar.
I am actually waiting.
Oh,
yeah, I am actually waiting for that.
Please no.
I am actually waiting
no.
for that for them to race and gender swap Jesus.
Jesus has been raced and gender
no,
swapped to be for a modern audience.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Oh, I am going to cry.
Why?
I'm going to cry.
I'll stop
Why?
Oh,
caring.
come on, you don't
No.
cry over spilt Christ.
I stopped caring.
Damn.
We don't have much time. Drop the pistol.
I'm sorry, that one is a difficult one for me.
Jesus has to be played by a man who is hung. Everyone knows this.
No,
not
he has to be
on-
played by an angry man.
Wrong with...
You don't get
It's
it.
a joke.
You don't get it, Angela.
No, I understood what he said, but I also know what he meant. And...
You're welcome.
I mean, it's like when people
No.
complained. Did you ever see Dogma?
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
You put me up for the night?
Yeah,
The crow.
you know how many people complained when they had what you call it, Alanis Morissette playing God.
Oh yeah.
God's not a woman, God's a man. God's whatever God wants to be at the time.
At the time, exactly.
But
In
the
fact,
joke made sense. It was
yeah.
fucking hilarious if you knew the joke.
Oh yeah, but the
Played
fact
by
is,
God herself
if
and
God
handed
was
down
to
the
appear to
greatest
5
man in the
different
world.
people at the same time, 5 different people would see 5 different gods.
Do
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember, hold on. Do you remember the cartoon Gargoyles?
Nope.
Yes.
All right. Do you remember the Fates?
No.
The Fates.
I remember that there was a cartoon. I remember that there was a cartoon called Gargoyles that was about gargoyles.
All right. So there were three witches called the Fates, and depending on who was looking at them at the time, what they were. When the Mona was looking at them and she was old and decrepit, she saw 3 prone gargoyles. When Macbeth was looking at them, he saw 3 young women. It's what he wanted at the time. It's the Fates.
Think Salt Vampire from Star Trek.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
God, what did Bill Clinton see when he looked at him? 3 little girls?
Maybe, I don't
Know
know.
himself.
Sorry, I'm being that guy then.
Yeah, but
You are being that guy again.
It's the point that, again, if you want to do that, then I can care less. It's God. You see God how you picture him, or picture it.
Or you see God, or God appears to you in a form which would be most comfortable and accepting to you.
In simpler
I'm
terms,
surprised they're not-
man makes God in
I'm
his own
surprised
image.
they're not. I'm surprised they're not making Aaron Brock.
Wait, hold on. You're breaking up.
Whoa.
You just broke up.
You sounded like a robot with laryngitis.
You broke up with yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. There's
how's
people.
that? Is it
Yo,
better
Mr.
now?
Yes. Hold on. Hey, Mr. Yes. Yo, Frosted. Yo, Jen.
Good evening,
Frosted
everyone.
said, to be fair, Black Jesus would make sense. He
To be fair.
doesn't live with his real dad. Jen goes. Hold on, can I finish?
If you want a biblical reason, and I don't remember the passage, but there is a passage in the
great.
Bible that describes Christ as having skin of bronze and hair of cotton.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Wait a minute.
That's actually even darker.
Wait a minute. Jen T. Mac says that movie wasn't had shit demons in it. Frosted made fun of gurgles. Mr. Yass goes, no one complained about Morgan Freeman playing God. Mr. Yass, I remember the Fates being in the movie Hercules, in the Hercules animated series. Yes, but the Fate, they were essentially the Fates in Gargoyles.
Well, Morgan Freeman playing God was good, but I'm sorry, but there's one actor who beat him to it and will forever be God in my eyes.
George Burns?
George Burns, yes.
Yeah.
I swear to me.
They got.
Me.
Who's that guy? Who's that black guy? The one that did the Allstate commercial. He played God in he played God in Lucifer.
Again,
Really? I didn't get that far.
Yes.
I put you like
I never
this.
watched
God in
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
I'll put you all like this.
It's good.
In any show, movie, or property, you can have anybody playing God, and you only have to have one line go, I appear as this because it is most accepting to your eye. Bam.
That
Instantly
doesn't
solved
change
it.
the fact that Jesus was born a man.
I'm talking about God, not
And
Jesus.
that was what we were originally talking about, with Cynthia Erivo wanting to play Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that, but I was just talking
It still
about
doesn't make
God.
sense.
And if you want to go off that as well, you can also have to remember that the reason why angels say be not afraid is because they actually show you their true form when they're actually coming for something like that. So
Which
you
is
could have
fucking
technically met an angel and not known it because they didn't reveal themselves to you because
Again,
you're
I don't
not
want to
for a
see
mission.
I don't want to see giant fucking wheels with eyes and wings and like burning balls of fire and brimstone.
Like it depends, and that also depends upon who's describing what angels look like. I've read I've read accounts from like biblical times where angels.
One second. One second.
Let me finish.
Let me finish what I was going to go into real quick. I say with Tyr, they're not going to tell him to be less afraid or to be unafraid. They're going to be like, be more afraid because I'm not banging you.
I would be more afraid only if, like, hey, Lich, we've come to take you back.
Like you're saying, angels have been described as, having a form so foreign and so alien to look upon them is to go mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So essentially, they're Lovecraftian beings. Got it.
No, Medusa will just turn you to stone.
No, not Medusa. Medusans.
Medusans.
From
Medusans, right? Yeah.
Hold on.
She gonna make you rock hard, baby.
Mr. Yes said George Burns was a good actor. Dennis Haybert.
Did somebody just say George Burns wasn't an actor?
He said, I said
he was a good actor.
Good actor.
Sorry, I couldn't hear him properly because of all the explosions.
Explosion?
Frog says Smiley's friends had God in one episode, voiced by Gilbert Godfrey. It was great. That was.
See, I don't know if George Burns was a good actor or if he was just really charismatic.
You know, I would have liked talking about this whole God actors playing God. Do you know who would have made a good God?
Who?
William Wyndham.
I don't know who he is.
Commodore Decker.
Face.
Commodore Decker from
Robin
the Doomsday
Williams
Machine.
played a great God.
Again,
You remember the episode from the original series, Tyr? The Doomsday Machine.
Didn't I tell you I've never seen the original series?
No.
Are you serious?
You Siri dog?
Yes, I've never seen the original series.
What kind of
trekker are you?
You've got. You've never seen
I'm a
the
casual.
original series.
I'm a filthy casual, and I've seen.
Even casuals have seen the original series.
I'm a filthy
You're
casual.
a fake.
I'm a filthy casual, and I only seen the two series that I've seen completely through were Voyager and Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is my favorite. I love war stories.
Oh, the choice between Voyager and Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine would be anybody's favorite.
Again, I love war stories. Now I've seen bits and pieces of the original series. I've seen bits and pieces of TNG. Also got to remind you guys, when TNG came out, I was a pretty young kid.
Yeah, I know people younger than you that have seen the original series.
Well, they got all the time in the world to fritter away. I ain't got but so many hours to do a lot of shit. And going back and watch the original series isn't one of them.
Well, I put the original series on for you, but this computer does not have a DVD player.
Oh, wait a minute. Me, Myself, and Irene and How the Grinch Stole Christmas came out in the same goddamn year.
And?
Why?
It's such a strange twist.
That was just so out of
Really
the
random,
blue.
I know.
Yeah, that was out of left field, wasn't it?
It could be.
I'm kind of writing down like all of.
What it could have been. What it could have been critical was that one of them was filmed. They could have been filmed in different parts of the year, or different years and just released.
Yeah.
Or back to back.
Well, I doubt it was filmed back to
One's a
back.
Christmas movie.
Me, Myself, and Irene came out first. Before that.
I doubt they
Christmas
were filmed
movie,
back
yeah,
to
Die Hard.
Jim Carrey isn't that type of workaholic.
He was back in the day.
I was gonna say, actually, back then he really was.
Yeah, that was because of the drugs, though.
He did 3 fucking movies in 1990, back like 1999.
Well, again, it could also be that just because they were released doesn't mean they were filmed.
And again, one would have been released in the summer, one would have been released in late fall. into Christmas or into
Yeah.
winter because it was a fucking Christmas movie. Like, oh, you have two movies that would be set in two different times of the year, released the same year by one actor. No shit.
There are actors that do that on a regular basis.
I mean,
Still today.
They're releasing the final destination, the last final destination with Tony Todd in it. Tony Todd's been dead since what, 2023?
No.
I can't
He only
understand.
died- I think he died earlier this year.
I can't understand why they've made so many Final Destination movies when every fucking film is exactly the same film.
I could have sworn Tony Todd.
He died in November of 2024.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just getting released this year. Again, it was filmed then, and he
For starters, you're turning around and giving the man a little bit of time to be dead.
What? I love Tony Todd. Well, not even that. I doubt it's even that. I honestly doubt that it was finished filming, but they never. It probably went through production. How like, oh well, we're gonna release it, or we're gonna keep it DVD. What's gonna happen with this? That's how a lot of movies are.
Probably doesn't have that. He also probably doesn't have that many lines either.
Yeah, Tony Todd did a. They wrote some dialogue for him where he could say goodbye to everyone in that movie.
Yeah, they specifically actually gave him an ad-lib scene.
Yeah, so he could do like a final goodbye.
As a farewell.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
But I'm just saying, like again, there are plenty of movies where actors have died, and that movie's just getting released, like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Because it was the final film, and oh well, this person's famous. Let's release this movie now.
Well,
We can always look at Rust.
Very beloved actor.
Yeah.
Tony Todd was already a really famous actor at that point, anyway.
Like,
well, he was better than famous. He was beloved.
Like Cocaine Bear.
That's true.
Cocaine Bear is a Cocaine Bear. Yeah, Cocaine Bear with Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta's last movie.
Yeah, or probably the last movie, like the latest movie he did before he died, possibly. Because he could have still filmed a lot of shit that he just decided to release.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Also, like, the reason why people like Prince have albums like years after they die, it's unreleased music.
Elvis.
Yeah, like unreleased music that they had that, somebody had decided to, okay, we're going to release it now.
We all know it's because they're not really dead. They're just being held in prison somewhere and forced to release music.
That's why Tupac.
Tony Todd,
What'd you say, Ben?
Tony
Well,
Todd
with
is
Prince-
gonna have the good form to stay dead and not do another farewell, unlike the band Kiss.
The 14th farewell tour.
Elvis isn't.
Yeah.
Elvis isn't dead. They just went home.
No, Elvis is actually waiting to get hold of Cliff Richards. He's going to jump up behind him and go, "Oh, there can be only one."
Hold on. Frosted said, I feel like pretty much anyone who's charismatic can be at least a decent actor. Goes, my God. And Frosted goes, 2 movies with the same actor can't be released in the same year. That's illegal. He says Prince shouldn't even have released music when he was alive. Frosted, you don't know good.
Oh.
Well, going back with Prince, hold on just a second. With Prince, it could have been for a lot of the music he didn't release was because he didn't think it was up to snuff, but he just wasn't going to put it out there.
Or he didn't intend. He never.
He had his own production shit.
Yeah, he had his own production. Like he was a prolific both songwriter and producer, and he had a lot of
but he was
shit.
also a perfectionist. And...
Yeah. Like, it's just what it is.
Oh, I forgot to check my inventory. Not my inventory. The other thing. Son of a bitch.
Not the other thing.
Oh God, not the other thing.
Well, why not the bitch? Why just a bitch?
Because there's no particular biatch.
Not good enough. Someone in particular.
because it doesn't make sense in speaking wise. You say son of a bitch, you don't say son of the bitch.
I was not serious.
Says I'll say son of a bitch, but I'll also say what is the fuck?
In the butt.
I said what but sir.
See that I no, still waiting for dilithium to convert to Zen.
Excuse me.
I
Put
was
some
you,
dilithium
you were
up
either
your butt.
going to get why just a bitch and not the bitch, or what about b bitch?
Well, the bitch is
Mix
someone specific.
I was saying. Never mind.
Well,
Angela,
look, Angela, I don't want to blame everything on the bitch, so sometimes I have to blame a bitch.
I see that.
Mix up your curse words. Call
Angela,
someone mothership.
And-
Tell them
and
to go to
Angela.
bitch.
Angela, the bitch is Elton John.
And she's back.
For example, speaking of mixing up the curse words, I like to mix up the races too. I'm a big fan of race mixing. So when I see a bunch of BLM protesters, I sometimes like to tell them to go back to Mexico if they don't like it here.
Yeah,
like
go
to
back
tell
to
that
Russia.
Joke where
I'd like to tell him, go back to Spain, you bastards.
Or the better yet, the save the whales people. I like to tell them if you don't like it here, go back to where you came from. Let
You know
them
what?
figure it out. You know?
For every whale you don't eat, I'm gonna eat 8.
Because I hate activists, man, and it's so much fun to how do you say tweak their yayas.
Tweet their
On that one, Mitch, I think it's you more hate that you hate professional activists, because there are activists that are like,
True.
I don't want to do this because I want it to be done so we can move on and go back to whatever the fuck it is we're supposed to be doing.
Yes,
Like
there is
some
a
gun
distinct
control
difference.
advocates or free speech advocates.
Well, see,
Greta
that's why
And
Thunberg.
I do say some.
that's also why I make a distinction between the advocate and the activist.
Yeah. Oh, talking about activists, Greta Thunberg. She fucked up,
Got
didn't
deported.
she? She fucked up. She went out there. It was a publicity stunt, obviously.
It was a bad publicity.
Yeah.
But she fucked up. She did not achieve any of her aims in what her real aims. That is, she just made herself look like an international fool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Because she tried to go through the whole thing, she technically got deported.
Yeah, she's. I think her not supporters. The people who pay her way are going to start leaving her.
Oh, they're going to start leaving her behind, and she's going to have no skills, and she'll have to resort to a porn career or something. Or
I'm telling you,
OnlyFans.
I'm telling you, I
I'm
knew
not saying
that's
it'll
what.
be pretty.
Look, I know she at some point she's going to do that, and it's going to be fucking hideous. It's going to be terrible.
he's what 19
Yeah.
or 20 now in college.
About
22,
21.
I think.
No, she's not in college. She hasn't even finished school.
Nope, she hasn't finished primary school
Dare
yet.
you?
How dare you?
I dare you.
Wait, she
At
hasn't
age 13,
finished
she became a
primary?
professional activist or some shit.
But yeah, she could definitely have a porn career. She's 22.
Well, yeah, her and oh god, imagine her and David Hogg getting together to make babies.
Oh God.
No,
That's
all
kind
I
of
can see is-
no.
all I can
let's-
see is
let's be real.
that American, you know the painting American Gothic.
Mitch,
Yes.
Mitch, I'm gonna just
Somebody took
that
that and they put David Hogg's face on the man and Greta's on the woman.
Mitch,
I mean,
for
how's
one,
that
I'm
work when they're
disowning
both
you.
bottoms?
No.
I mean, seriously, they're not going to have kids when they're both bottoms.
What tier?
For that one, Mitch, I'm disowning you. You
Oh,
you're no
okay.
that was
No, I'm just saying that if they were to get together to make babies, the babies would be their fucking food.
Well, I mean, the whole
These
thing is they're
people
going to have doctors in that because, like I said, they're both bottoms. So how is he going to bang her when he's a bottom? They're just going to have a double-ended marital device.
He'll have to get Nancy Pelosi as a fluffer. Oh god.
Repeat.
Ugh. Okay. I
Yeah,
need
let's
to
face
wash
it.
my
The only
brain
way
out
they
with
could have the only way they
disowning,
could have children is through black magic.
disowning Mitch.
Don't spell
That's
black
it.
magic like that.
That's the only
Too
way.
late.
It's the only way, Mitch. You're disowned.
Fine, it'll be off-white magic.
Deep chocolate brown magic.
It'll be hickory bronze magic. Ooh, eggshell magic even.
Eggshell magic.
Dark turquoise magic.
Eggshell magic.
Shit magic.
Sorry. I'll see myself out.
Oh, wow. I appreciate that. We'll talk to you next time.
What?
No, we won't.
I'm teasing you, dear.
I'm not.
You're the one that said you'd be seeing yourself out. That
No, that
wasn't
was
my
Tyr.
fault.
Yes, that was me. Well, that was me.
Still applies.
Picking a random.
Well, if I don't want to play random.
Well, then fine then. Father Glass said, I have yet to hear a Prince song I like unless it's performed by someone else. Frosty says, Israel tweeted about Greta thing was top notch. Gentile Maxi says,
They put her ass on a
nobody,
plane.
no, they ate majority of the food they had with them before they even got
Which wasn't that much.
Yeah, they got like 10 pounds of whatever the fuck they brought.
You know, it's funny. The
Wait a minute. I have a few more. Israel saved their ass probably. Farther goes,
yeah.
Can't Greta just start doing drugs or something like every other person who's famous as a kid? She wasn't
I can't
famous,
wait
she
to
was
hear her
infamous.
go down that Lindsay Lohan path.
Or the Macaulay Culkin path.
Oh no, Macaulay Culkin really.
Look,
Well,
not
she looks
everyone
more
can
like
go down
Macaulay
the Hillary
Culkin.
Duff route.
Right.
Nobody can go down the fucking Amanda Bynes. Oh god, that she used to be cute. Now she's fucking hideous.
Dude, if you, probably the only one who's had the whole thing or being a Disney star didn't completely fuck him over was Hillary Duff.
Yeah.
Well,
she actually
was.
had kids. Is that why she? That's why she quit acting or whatever.
Well, you gotta remember, she was. No, not Hillary Duff. I'm about to think mom's house. Yeah, I guess Hillary Duff was a. Yeah.
That
Well,
and maybe the chick who played the
Yeah.
sister in Even Stevens with LaBeouf.
Never seen Even
Was
Stevens.
Melissa Joan Hart a Disney kid?
No.
No, she was Nickelodeon.
Yeah. And she
Same
was
difference,
actually
also.
protected by from the excesses of fame by her parents, from what I've heard.
Oh, right on.
Good for them.
All right, it's
Good
after
parents.
time for me. I need to get some.
Indeed.
I need to go get some sleep, guys.
Go to hell. You don't need
See
sleep.
you later.
Have a
Sleep.
good night.
Rock on.
Night.
Lack of sleep is strength leaving the body. Stay up. Join us.
Oh,
You tried.
so, hey,
Okay,
talking
you
about
tried.
Melissa Joan Hart, I'm sure I've shown you all that one where Melissa Joan Hart has a reunion with Salem, the cat from Sabrina,
Really?
and he gets her to do all the magic shit in the restaurant.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, well,
Sabrina,
she knocks his kid out by throwing a cup at him.
I think Sabrina could do as an adult witch. Yeah, that'd be a sitcom I'm willing to watch.
Let's face it, you want Sabrina the Teenage Lich.
Well, witches and liches are basically cousins. What?
Oh, I forget which company it was. It was a comic company that did Chilling Tales of Sabrina, right? And it was good.
It's
It
the
was,
same company
yeah.
as Archie.
yeah, well, it was taken
Like
off the
the
Archie
Riverdale
stuff.
comics or whatever.
But it was an actual horror comic. And they did
Oh.
a good job, right?
I didn't know that they did a comic, but I knew
Yeah.
there was a Netflix
Yeah,
series.
which was based on the comic, and they just walked it all out.
Of course they did.
Like they did with the Archie TV show, because they had Josie and the Pussycats on the Archie TV show, and there were 3 angry black girls who were also lesbians.
Well, there was a black girl in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes, there was.
So they were at least 1/3, right?
But they weren't lesbians.
It's like the Velma fucked up the Hex girls.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was one
that's-
of the things that, like I had mentioned, I've been watching that show that trilogy Fear Street that Netflix did, and I'm sure it's a departure from what R.L. Stine wrote, but I don't know where those departures are. But I'll tell you that they demanded that we watch certain kinds of sex scenes and
Okay, come on in,
and-
Jen. Get you to read all the goddamn tweets.
and lesbianoids.
Jello hen.
Hello.
And Jen.
Cockatoos.
Hello.
Checkers is back.
And Jen's here.
Welcome back.
Where what am I? I have the brain stupid. There.
I don't think Kefki was here for this joke before, so Kefki, I hope your roof feels better.
Oh, thank you.
God damn it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because it's always under the weather.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's great. That's great.
That was fantastic.
That was so
Yeah.
bad it should have been one of mine.
Excuse me, I gotta go crown a kitten.
Wait,
Here, it's better to be
Brown
under the weather than on
etiquette.
fire, though.
what you say, Jen?
That's
I said at
true.
this
The
time
roof was on fire.
Well, I said at this time of year, it's better to be under the weather than on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, there's two options in our neck of the woods. It's either on fire or, wet.
Oh, I didn't know you moved to California.
No,
Thank
BC decided to take tips from California. And I'm like, why would you
Oh,
do that, you
right.
stoners?
I was gonna
hold
say.
on. Now read these. Frosty says Lindsay Lohan is the best example. She recorded herself scolding a homeless woman because she wouldn't let Lindsay Lohan take her kid to stay in a hotel or something. She tried to adopt the kid off the street. And then Frosty goes, all women are lesbians if you get enough money or alcohol. And then, for fuck's
For
sake,
prison
Rodden.
Now,
Rotten.
Yeah.
Because that last joke, internet high five.
I have a weird.
I still like the one that.
conundrum.
Yes, Kaneki?
Jams.
Oh, nice.
Like it so far?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Wonderful.
You even got the feather in my top hat.
Oh, do you like me now, Kefki?
I got your monocle too. I just haven't. You can't really see it
Okay.
because yeah. I'm
I
gonna
always
try to
like the
have
one
it rigged and be animated. So yeah.
Jesus, guys, how long does it take you to destroy that last frigate?
Well, I'm trying to get to it, but I was reading, not reading, but looking at something Kanefsky showed me.
There's not just us in this, there's two other big players, you know.
I gotta make the hip bone bigger though. Hip bone's too small.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also still like the classic joke that goes
could
like
you-
that.
could you
Or
make
for
him
that one, it
grumpy?
goes.
Yeah. Well, look at him. He looks grumpy right now. I'll make him grumpier. I'm gonna give him
Another one.
different expressions.
Okay.
You too.
Would you say Rodney? Sorry.
Oh, I also like the classic joke that goes, went to a contractor to get a quote on the house. And I look at her and say, hey, I think you're a little short. You're missing the price of the roof. He goes, oh, don't worry about that. It's on the house.
But boom.
Boom, boom.
Ha
I should hate you for that, but I'm writing
Rodney, I
it
got a
down.
question. Are you a father yet? Because your dad jokes are on point.
Oh, no, I tend to try to make these jokes while I'm standing on some stairs because at my age, I'm more likely to make stepdad jokes.
Oh.
Hey, Rotten.
Did
you hear about the Irish ghost?
Kids.
Said is don't try to be a mom because then your jokes kind of suck.
Rotten, did you hear about the Irish ghost? Climbed over the wall.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm a little blank on that one.
That's
As
what the
in
rumours
Hadrian's
say.
Wall?
Oh, yeah.
All I gotta say
I
to
haven't-
the Irish is sorry about the troubles.
Yeah, because you guys kind of let Rosie go there, and now they're like, fuck, we have immigration problems.
Oh, Rosie
Oh,
O'Donnell.
another joke from the good old days of the IRA. What's the fastest game in the world?
What?
Pass the parcel in a Belfast pub.
Oh no.
Look, all right. I'll put it to you like this: if Ireland keeps Rosie O'Donnell and gives us Conor McGregor, I say it's a fair trade.
Fair trade, yeah.
I think he's trying to run for office over there. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm like, I'm kind of, I don't know that I'm for that because I don't know that the guy is necessarily that smart, but I'm for it just because he's a dick. Is that weird?
No,
Oh,
I actually kind of honestly believe that one of the things we need in the West is more assholes in office.
What do you call that member of the oh fucking hell, my brain, the Kennedy family, the one who's a priest?
There's a Kennedy
Kennedy?
priest?
There's a priest in the Kennedy family?
Yeah, because
RFK,
he was he was in Northern Ireland, right? And he turns to this British soldier and he says, "Why don't you go back to your own country?" And this British soldier, in a Northern Irish accent, says, "I'm already there. Why don't you go back to yours, you Yankee bastard?"
I
that's what I'm trying to do.
I don't think that's I don't think he was a member of the family because I can't recall there being any priests in that bloodline.
Yeah, I'm certain he was a member of the Kennedy family.
I mean, he could have had the last name Kennedy but not be related to the Kennedys.
No, I'm pretty sure he was. That's why it was on the news.
Okay.
It's always possible they had that. It's just, I don't know. How big your
I can barely hear you,
I
Jen.
mean, they were good Irishmen. So.
Turn up your volume a little, Jen.
Yeah, I'm a little bit away from my mic. I'm trying to let other people.
Yeah, and I know I keep saying this, but that is another thing that I find hilarious.
What?
Americans who, yeah, I'm Irish. No, you're not.
I'm American. I'm proud of it.
I'm an American mutt. Thank you.
Nope, I'm
Same.
not American, but I'm just American.
I've seen actual bona fide Irish people commenting on that on like YouTube and stuff. Yeah, your family hasn't been Irish since you moved to the United States.
Nice one.
They think, oh, well, I'm culturally Irish. No, you're not.
No, I have a bit of Irish heritage. That's it.
Yes, they mistake. They tend to, for some reason, think that geography, heritage, and culture are all the same thing, and they're not.
No.
Yeah.
Is this a little better? My mic was kind of down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Better, Jen.
Yeah.
I don't want
Can
to.
actually hear you now.
Like super loud.
It won't to be on overload.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you turn it up a little bit, and all of a sudden you're yelling, and you're like, "I wasn't yelling. I can't. It's too late to yell."
It's never too late to yell, Jen.
Never too
It's
late.
funny,
I
all
wish
these,
you could get
all
away
these
with
tech
that in
companies
person.
keep bragging about how wonderful their technology is. They can't even get a microphone system to maintain its volume and clarity, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's
lightning fast internet. What's the point if I can't understand what the fuck anyone's saying?
That's another one. Immigrant families, not necessarily from certain parts of the world, but generally, like from Europe, move to like America, and within the second generation, they're unrecognizable from their family's root culture. They've adopted the Native American culture.
They've gone.
They have one or two like holdover recipes or behaviors, and by behaviors I mean like they'll celebrate.
I had this
Mondays.
conversation with my own family because we get mixed information. Honestly, I wouldn't trust our media at all, but if you're old, fuck it if they don't just watch it. And I pointed out to my parents, hey, listen, economically speaking, I'm suffering. Do you think it would be okay if I just crossed the border with no paperwork or anything like that and just demanded that somebody put me up in a home and that they pay for my food and they pay for, like, say I hurt myself, they can pay for that too. And, I can just get a job with no paperwork. It's really hard to do a background check on me because I haven't done any of that shit.
Right,
You don't
Jen,
know who the fuck I am.
Jen, what you want to do is you want to buy yourself a plane ticket to France, right?
No, I don't. No.
And get on a boat and cross the
No.
channel.
No.
Get everything
Although
for
that,
free.
yeah.
Don't do it,
I
Jen.
could just take a flight straight to England, I don't
Jen,
have to
don't
go
do
to
it.
France.
No, you've got to do it that way because you get everything free that way.
Oh, they've been
True.
playing them in too.
I know that you guys are not on fire right now. I just don't want to go to France because when I looked at the barrels in Paris, I told Lulu and I told her that and Pete that I thought that they were just alcoholics.
Jen,
Speaking of
Jen,
TFL,
things are starting to kick off over here.
I was hoping they'd lay off a little bit, because you're rainy. Not every day, but it's mean to wish rain on you, except for when it comes to weirdos.
It's protest season.
It is.
it's too warm for
Daffy
regular
Duck and Bugs Bunny are going to completely agree. It's not duck or rabbit season. It's protest season.
Well, I keep bringing this up, and I don't know if maybe I'm just overthinking it, but the reason I complain about the France thing is a lot of people in the West, especially in charge, seem to want to copy what they do. I know I'm whining about their barrels, but recycling and then sticking recycling bins next to alcoholics, and then being surprised that they're flammable.
Well, the alcoholics,
That's because the whole recycling thing's a scam, and it's easier to blame you for not doing it than actually doing the shit they're supposed to do for plastic.
You know that in Nazi Germany, the Nazi German Elmer Fudd's favorite season was Rabbi season.
Did you know that in California, in certain municipalities, if you don't separate your trash into recyclables and whatever, you'll get fined $250 or $500.
That's nice.
But when they come by to collect your trash,
they dump it all in the same thing.
They dump it all into one truck and crush it and send it to a landfill.
So that means if you've got somebody in your neighbourhood who really hates you, they could mix your trash up on the night before the bins get collected.
Yep.
I hate this TFO.
It's just yeah, so do I.
Oh God, no.
Kind of glad I switched to the weapon I did, but we'll see.
It's a sham of so much of that, because some things are probably still recyclable, like paper and certain plastics and for drinking bottles and shit.
Cool.
But
the whole thing on. Yeah. Well, hold on. For that whole thing, it's glass and aluminum are 100% recyclable. Plastic is to a point, but the whole thing is that majority of it's contaminated, and it's cheaper to do virgin plastic than it is to recycle plastic.
All right, hold on. So first off, I want to read this one. Assassin the Great. It's a legal alien protest season. No, it's Marxist insurgency season. No, it's a legal protest season. Alien protest. No, it's Marxist insurgency season.
And then Superman goes, "Fine, I'll leave."
But it's true.
Did you say Grace in chat?
Yeah, Assassin.
Oh, great.
The bastard that has me trapped in the box.
Give me up.
It's true that glass and aluminum, and I'm not sure about glass, but I know that aluminum is just about the only recyclable item that is economically viable to do so.
Well, yeah, because glass and aluminum are both the same way. Once it gets beyond a certain temperature, and that whole thing, the glass will melt and can be reshaped with ease.
Yes.
It doesn't work the same way with plastic, because any impurities in the aluminum or the glass will be burned out.
Yep.
Doesn't it get to a point where you're lucky if you can get lawn furniture out of it?
I mean, they still could, they just don't. Because again, it's that whole thing that the virgin plastic from the oils and that they go refine everything is exponentially less expensive or more cost effective to the companies than it is for that. So the easiest thing to in those situations to do is, instead of being like, oh, we could do these things, it could be, well, it's your fault. You're the consumer. It's your fault.
Do you
I mean,
remember...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll finish. After you finish.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I've been calling that out since they got rid of the glass for milk. Like, it was the first tip off that there was something that was just stupid.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. The plastic bags only make sense if you live somewhere up north where you're not raising cows. You can stick a bunch of bags of milk in a freezer and they don't break or curdle.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just a novelty factor. Like, Ontario just kept up with it because it was funny. Until
Yeah,
one
because
guy's like, oh,
I only heard about the milk bags from Canada recently, and I'm just all, what the fuck?
It just really made sense from that.
Doesn't it?
But, like, you know, here's things I didn't know about that. Like, I didn't know they had it in, like, chocolate milk flavor. I'm like, you guys really didn't promote yourselves at all. So, like, you know, even up here we didn't have the bagged milk. That was purely Ontario, and like I said, going up north, because it makes sense if you have a lack of milk to be able to freeze some, so you have some milk. But I was like, if you had flavored milk in bags, you should have marketed that, because there's so many things you can do with that. Straight up, like,
We actually had it in our schools.
Yeah, we did too. We had the milk bags for a while in our school.
Not when I was a kid, but when my kids were in school, I was actually kind of weirded out because suddenly I was looking at milk in a bag. I was just going, what?
It's literally because you can freeze them. Like, if you put them in the freezer and then stick it in the bag with your kid, by the time they go to drink it, it's, you know, safe to drink. Or heck, sometimes it's still frozen, so it's like kind of you're eating a Frosty a little bit.
My house used to be behind, in front of Cloverland Dairy. This infamous milk company in the city. So we would get on the way to school, the guys there would give us like fresh milk.
Yeah.
Like literally fresh milk.
Yeah.
Why was it infamous?
Well, no, I didn't say it's more famous.
Yeah, fresh milk's illegal in the States now, isn't it?
Right.
No,
well,
then let me
raw milk is.
Let me rephrase that. It was famous in our city. It was infamous because
okay, it was famous. Okay.
In our city, but when it closed down, a lot of people were pissed.
Yeah, you can still get raw milk in the UK.
Like a lot of people were pissed.
As long as it's from a registered dairy.
Isn't raw milk bad for you?
No.
No.
Not necessarily.
It really isn't.
Depends how old it is.
Like,
yep,
you know how it is here.
Yeah.
I mean, if 2% of the population has a slight problem with something, we have to ban it.
Yeah.
Somebody coined this this morning, like old George Carlin quote, but you know, the kids used to swim in shit and sewers, and they all lived till older age. Like George Carlin was pretty fucking old when he died.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not some risk to raw milk. Like, you have to risk people.
Well, yeah. Part of George
There's a
Carlin's
risk to
sister
everything.
was you know, if I drop a piece of food on the floor, I pick it up and I eat it.
I do too.
And, you know, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I don't get sick all that often. I mean, when I do, it sucks because it's a good one. But
it's also common sense. Like, if you drop food in your kitchen, well, you know your kitchen. You know it's your floor. Like, it's not the bathroom.
I'm talking about in a commercial restaurant.
Yeah, like even then, yeah.
If I dropped it, I'd immediately pick it up and piece of pepperoni. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And it would freak people out. Are you crazy? This is good. I'm like, grow up a little bit, would you?
It's pepperoni. It's
You know
probably going to do more damage to the germs than the germs are going to do you.
My dad used to do that. I can't do that. Oh my god.
The other thing is the amount of overprotection that people are going through now when it comes to like hygiene and stuff. I mean, yeah, hygiene's important, but there's too much nowadays, and it's weakening people.
Yes.
It is.
Well, it's the people who won't let their kids eat cookie dough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't lick the bowl because it's raw egg.
I mean,
Stop
that's
panicking
hypey
over
shit.
everything.
It's
I'm
not just
sure-
that. It's people, on average, from what I hear, take at least 3 showers or baths a day. That's actually bad for you.
Well, I'm
That's
sure.
horrible for you.
I'm sure that there's a
Sorry.
side of Angie and Kefki who can appreciate reaching that age where you stop buying into the hair crap. You know, the girls who will go and straighten their hair, you know,
yeah.
put a whole shit ton of chemicals in it, all only to retangle and curl it again.
Yes.
So
I had no problems with my hair growing up, and I grew up at a time when a boy using shampoo on his hair was considered girlish.
Excuse me. I gotta go. My headset's about to die. Y'all have a great stream.
You take care of yourself, Kefki.
Thank you.
Hey, Chapter.
Later.
Like I said, yeah, if you were male and you used shampoo, that was considered effeminate.
Yes.
And I had no problems with my hair. You know what I use on my hair? Soap.
Yep.
see, my dad only had one rule when it comes to soap, and that's mostly because he was very autistic about the hunting thing. It can't have a smell. It's not that you can't be a smelly guy when you go to work. Like an office is not the same thing as the woods.
Right.
But the soap cannot have a stink. So he had like 1 or 2 specific brands that I have labeled down as not as unscented as they can be, because he swears by them.
Well, the big thing with like using shampoo or whatnot, also for a lot of guys, especially for that time frame, is they tend to have shorter hair. So that's like the shampoo conditioner thing is just a giant scam. Yeah.
The 70s, no. Guys did not
No.
have short hair.
Not
On
always.
On average, no, they
There
didn't.
were one. But the
Yeah,
freaking
in
like
the 70s was when most guys were starting to grow their hair out.
Now the 60s was when most guys were starting to grow their hair. The 70s was when it was
fully grown.
pretty common.
The many different stages of mullet.
Mullets was more the 80s.
Yeah. I was just talking to my mom about that the other day. There was this period of time where literally all of my cousins had mullets, and my brother was the only guy in the family that had short hair. Now my brother looks like Stoner Jesus.
So it was business in the front, party in the back.
Thank God I never had a mullet.
Neither did I.
Thank God I didn't live in the era of
I
mullets.
actually thought mullets were quite girly as well.
That's because the women also had mullets during the time. Everybody
Well, it's
wanted
like
to be Joan Jett.
Well, it was either that or the bowl cuts, and like some of the kids did look cute with them, but I can imagine how much of a pain that was, just going to school with it. Like
who looks at their kid and who goes to the barber, looks at their kid, looks at the barber and says, "Can you make him look more like Mo?"
Yeah,
I think
that was very much that bowl cut for kids was very much an American thing.
Nope,
I
the
was gonna
Beatles
say
had it.
when I was
it was just as much about saving money as it was anything else, because it is an easy way to cut your kid's hair.
Yeah.
I thought it was
probably
about trying to get your kid
depressing
into an after school sitcom.
Now, if you got really lucky, there's the odd mom who figured out you could use different shaped bowls and like layer it.
Anybody old enough to remember that that device for cutting your hair? It was kind of like a comb but had razor blades in it.
The Flowbee, the vacuum cleaner with the
No.
razor blade?
No, it was like kind of like a comb but it had razor blades in it.
Oh yeah, I think I do know.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, my mother bought one, and we only ever used it. She only ever used it once because it just made a mess of your hair.
The iron that always got to me for females was the crimper. I always thought that was just how to destroy your hair when you could just braid it.
I was gonna say, you don't crimp your hair. You take a shower, you braid your hair while it's still wet. You sleep on it, and when you wake up, your hair is crimped.
Like, because whenever I'd see
Get-
the girls
get away
when
from
I
me,
was
you
little
motherfucking
and they were using it,
bum thing.
because it looked like burnt hair more than anything else.
Oh God, girls with pigtails. There was a girl. She was a
handlebars.
bitch, right? I was about 8, and she, during break time, she'd been a bitch to me, and she was sitting in front of me in class. So she leaned back, and while she was leaning back, some sarcastic bastard leaned forward and tied her pigtails to a chair.
Oh, jeez.
Batman, did I ever tell you you're my hero?
Nope, but you
You're
should
the
have.
wind beneath his wings.
No, I don't think it's the one beneath my wings. I just want to know.
It might be a broken wind.
I mean, if it was the wind beneath your wings, it might have been a fart.
It was.
It probably was.
I believe I said that.
Knowing me,
Wasn't it
it would have been. Knowing me, it would have also been a chunky one.
Oh,
And
So the
that,
bat
and,
signal kind of came up in like stages, like chunk, 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 chunk.
and that, ladies and gentlemen, how you turn a bad joke into a shitty one.
Boo! I mean, boo!
Hold on. Let me read some of these. Why is this character running around with a future vacuum cleaner? It's not a vacuum cleaner. It's a Gatling.
It's a vacuum cleaner.
Shut up. It's a proton pack, actually.
It's a Gatling vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
a proton pack. You
Yeah.
guys have
Yeah.
proton packs?
That's what it
Your
looks like.
Ghostbuster in space.
That's what it looks like.
It's proton pack ish.
Alrighty.
It's proton pack adjacent.
Yeah.
Proton Pakistani.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. Better than just a hug. I bring a cupcake. That's assassin. If so famous, it was infamous. Frosted Glass says, I drink a smoothie with 3 raw eggs mixed in almost every day. And then he goes, Kefki goes, I'm a metalhead. I brush my hair and then let it do what it wants. And then Frosty goes to a chair amateur. I done tied her braids to the bumper of the school bus. Frosty, you're a monster.
So I can't remember Star Trek terminology very well, but the room that they used to use for entertainment, the one that
Holodeck.
would replicate like
Holodeck.
Okay.
Holodeck.
I have this
Yeah.
image of Patrick Picard doing something like Ghostbusters now.
Patrick Picard.
Jean-Luc
Jean-Luc
Picard.
No.
Look at John Pickett.
No, I mean both.
Patrick
I mean both. Like I mean
Jean-Luc
his
Stewart?
character, but like yeah.
It's Patrick Pickard.
Yeah.
Would that be the captain of the Star Trek Enterprise?
Yes.
But it's haunted.
He's the captain of the Star Wars Enterprise.
No, he's the captain. Yes, he's the captain of Star Wars Enterprise.
It's haunted by the red shirts from the past.
The ghost of red shirts past.
Yeah.
Like for every red shirt that died on the ship. Oh.
Why did you guys use us as a meat shield? The red shirt shouldn't have meant that.
Well, now that
It was
red
Operation
shirts.
Get Behind the Red Shirts.
Now,
Yeah,
now
but you know
red
the
shirts
engines
in
cannot
command.
take it.
At one point, red shirts were security and operations, and now that red shirt means command, the red shirts don't die as often.
Security operations and engineering.
Yes.
Well, I believe
See, I
engineering
wouldn't-
falls under operations.
I wouldn't feel so bad about it, but
I
it's
think
kind
you're
of
wrong.
like the TV shows of the time. Like
Mhm.
to amp up the hero, everybody else is suddenly a shit at shooting.
Oh no, that's yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay, let's look at my weaponry here. Nope, it's not here. Damn. Alright. Okay, go.
I didn't mean to throw that.
Yes, you did.
No, it was spontaneous. Like, oh, I just want to launch you for no reason. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a, yeah.
That button. Yep.
Man, this damn CFO is long. God damn it! Why the fuck won't you get over the goddamn low ass hill? Eat space laser. Eat bigger space laser, I guess.
Oh.
Just
Take your
mildly, it
space
kind
laser
of
and shove it.
it kind of looks like one of the pods from Dragon Ball. So if you know, I
It does.
can't remember which character. Yeah, either Nappa or like one of them comes out. That goes back to the Ghost Nappa.
Ghost
Yes,
Snapper.
Ghostbusters.
When there's something strange.
Not the ghost faces.
Ghost Snapper. Vegeta, Vegeta, Vegeta.
We're the
Vegeta.
Ghostbusters. I'm Spencer. He's Tracy. He's Kong.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever watched that series? I know you're not an anime fan, but the abridged is mostly just taking the piss out of the show.
Which
And-
show?
So it is based around Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball
Dragon
Z.
Ball Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, really lost interest there.
Yeah, I knew it. It is a funny take on it. Like if you're not into anime, but you wanted to have it
Anime.
explained to you. Yeah. If you wanted it explained to you in a way that's at least taking the piss out of it, it's funny. It also uses quotes and things that most of the kids don't understand anymore. Like they have a scene where they're talking about a flip phone. I'm like, most kids that was like what 5-6 years of their life.
I remember flip phones.
I do too because of the stupid commercials. I avoided cell phones for like the longest time because it meant that people could call me when I was out and about and I could just ignore my home phone. And then my parents were like, "No, we're a little bit worried about you being kidnapped by homeless people, so you need to get a cell phone."
I always
Okay.
say this.
That's
this.
extreme.
Look, so when I got my cell phone, my mother would call me and ask me where you are. Look, lady, you just fucking called me. Why are you asking this question?
I just stepped out the fucking door, woman! Why are you calling me? You could just open the door and ask me.
I'm sure you understand this too, Angie, being from California. There's certainly parts of California that are very, the crime's very much higher up. And then there's other parts that aren't that bad. We just had like 2 years of it looked like gang war between certain people in the city. And I was just close enough to it that my parents were like, "Oh my God, she's gonna get kidnapped by somebody." I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm like, "No, I actually
don't run in those circles, Mom."
No.
And Jen, to go back to the Dragon Ball Z abridged, that was more making fun of the English dubs of those series than it was of the actual series. Because localized sucked.
If you want to see a funny dub, look up the big green dub of Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Sorry, but I've just got this image now of Tyr's son going, "Mom, you're making me look bad in front of my crips."
Mom, you're making me look bad from my homies. God,
You're making me look bad in front of the wizard.
I really could see you laughing at some of the jokes in that one though. Like I haven't seen the one that you mentioned here, so I can't say anything there. But there's so many quotes from the abridged that I just still chuckle or I use them. Work the shaft.
So
Did
the
ask
no.
The big green edit. The big green edit is essentially the localizers didn't really understand when it first came out. They really didn't understand it, so they just made their own little thing, and they call fucking Piccolo Big Green. Right, that's.
Well, that's like for the funny thing. One of the actual kind of cool things about a bridge is when Gohan actually goes Super Saiyan 2, they instead of using the music the dub used for the localizers and whatnot, they actually went back and found the original music from the Japanese edit or version to put in there. which has way more emotion behind it and better for what it is, or trying to convey.
It really was a fan dub. Like, yes, they're making jokes and stuff, but like they did a lot of detail to it.
It's called taking the piss.
Yeah.
Oh, the funny part is like because of those fan dubs and shit like that, that has actually gotten some of the people into the industry.
Well, the guy, the abridged guys were 4 people. Like, I think they only had like somebody to do the female voices, but like I was amazed at the range they had. Yeah, absolutely higher than.
Well, no, because like God, I can't remember what she's done or some of the stuff, but it's like I saw one that like worked with one of the guys or one of the music ones that I've seen before that does that and did say, and it's like, wait a minute, I've seen her thing. Like, yeah, she's done freaking anime like voice acting for actual anime because of doing like posting the dumb shit online that she just had fun with. I was like, huh.
Shit, a lot of fucking YouTubers have always got like lines and roles and shit because they were fucking YouTubers.
What they really should have done, and like I don't know how they could have gone about it. They really should have fished out who the people were who honestly are either gatekeeping the talent or are pretty much. I don't know.
Most of the current voice actors and whatnot that are in, because that's where they don't make a whole lot of money in voice acting, so they have to do multiple roles, and that's why they make their most money typically on the convention circuit.
And nowadays, with AI, the threat that AI is, they are. Yeah.
They're panicking.
AI is this massive threat. Like, if you were making good shit, you wouldn't have to worry.
Yeah.
I still
well,
want
that's like the.
Like I don't want everything to be AI either. You know?
No, again, if you were making good shit, you wouldn't have to worry. Like if like the remember the writer's strike, the actors in the writer's strike. If you guys were making good work, you wouldn't have to. You would be in a stronger position because you're making quality, and you can say, oh well, the fans want to see us. But the when you guys went on strike, everybody was rejoicing because you're not ruining shit.
Yeah, and what you were fighting for was like, you're fighting for more of the same crap, and it's not good.
Well, they were fighting for like you had like they had to have certain amount of guild members working there.
Yeah, well, a certain amount of writers and everything for that whole thing as well. It's just like, you guys are demanding this, but you haven't shown you're worth it.
Yeah.
It's easy to make demands. You gotta prove that you're worth the money.
And honestly, I still say it hurt them more because it gave them people more reason. Like, okay, let's look at AI more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, it was the whole thing of like became extremely incestuous of the whole thing. So it's like, you keep wanting to just bring your friends in and not bring in new talent. And the only time you want to bring in new talent is with someone you know where you're going to make anything off it. Like, you're not willing to take a chance on anything. Look at how much we see of like, it has to be a big blockbuster movie instead of, I mean, shit, even back in the early 2000s, the shit they took chances on.
Well, that's why the VTubers are giving them a run for their money. Like, it's still it's a version of anime for some people, by some people that are fairly talented. Like, some of those ladies have range. They're more than capable of knocking it. I don't know as many males. It is a little bit of a sexist. VR tubing is a little bit more geared towards the pretty ladies, but
yeah, there's only like one I know of that's a dude, and he still has a female avatar.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Like, I like nuts, but like
it must have shunted us to a fucking elite.
Oh yeah, that yeah, it did.
How the fuck did
we get injured?
Yeah.
But that's like, Jen, look back at Twitch and the whole thing for
how do you
getting into the gaming sphere when you women had an easier time of becoming the bigger scene gamers,
how do you
even though they
defend
weren't
the
quote
individual ship?
unquote as good as others.
Stay where you are.
It just happens. Like, you know, I have
Well,
seen
it's
some girls that are, you know, running circles around me in terms of their games, but
oh, yeah, it's not knocking the ones that were actually good in anything. It's the one. It's like there were men that were good that weren't getting the views. There were also men that weren't near as good as they thought they were that weren't getting the views. And it's just because, as people in general, let's be honest, we're more likely to want to look at a woman than at a dude.
I mean, I'm not into the girl
Infirmary.
streamers, but
Right.
even I
I'm on
thought
the-
it was amusing that a girl was green screening her ass. Like, I think she was playing Minecraft or something off her bum. I'm like, I wouldn't watch that, but I thought it was funny. I'm like, okay, I get the novelty of like, it's not that clever, but it's still clever, you know?
Well, it's a gag.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's ridiculous, but it's funny.
Yes.
Well, that's it. That's at least doing something better than, like, when you get to the ethos doing the exact same thing Hollywood would do. Like, okay, they come out, a movie gets big. Oh, it was a found footage thing, so we're gonna make a bunch of fucking found footage movies that are almost all the fucking same because it worked once. It's good. Everyone wants to see it, right? No, it worked that one time.
Well, it worked that one time with that particular writer / director, whatever. Well, okay, with that particular filmmaker, because that filmmaker had an interesting idea of how to utilize that technique.
I would kind of disagree on that whole thing because of Paranormal Activity.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, but Paranormal Activity was the
it was
response to
just
the Blair Witch Project.
And it was just one of those things that it got super popular. It's like, and it wasn't really that good.
No, it wasn't innovative
It
at
actually
all.
got super popular because people were complaining about it, not because it was good.
Right. I'm checking out of the game because
Yeah, it's about time.
we're almost at the end here anyway.
Yeah.
But without going into the greatest of detail, that like I usually do when I mention it, the way to do the people who want to do sequels to the Blair Witch Project are doing it wrong because they keep leaning into the concept of found footage when what they should be leaning into is the concept of documentary filmmaking.
Well, that's where the original second Blair Witch movie would have been so much better if the studio would have kept their dick out of it, because it was supposed to be a psychological thriller over the aspect of the Blair Witch Project movie. So it's like quite literally the sequel to Blair Witch was supposed to be set in our universe where it's a movie.
Yes.
And like, if you've seen the opening of it, like they fucked it up because they didn't let him do what the director wanted to, instead of doing the whole found footage thing that they were wanting to do, the wash, rinse, repeat. But like when they're doing that opening shot going over the woods of the mountain and range, or like the woods when even though I love the song Beautiful People from Marilyn Manson, when you change that to what it was supposed to be, Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft,
yes,
whole different movie.
Right. It elicits an entirely different emotion. But you know, the filmmakers are not the filmmakers, but the studios, man, a lot of times they just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, the funniest part is like, okay, you take Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. Most of the shit of the biggest things that were hated were shit the studio pushed.
Yes. Well, for one thing,
and it's
just look at the title. There's no fucking book in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed with all of the Blair Witch film, not the Blair Witch films, the bloody Normal Activity ones. They look like the kind of films that you see on YouTube done by some 12-year-old who's stolen his dad's video camera.
Well, yes, that's
those I have more respect for.
In some ways,
the freaking the fans that are going out there because they want to try to make a movie or whatnot. So they do some shitty footage and put it on YouTube because, hey man, they want to try it. They had a thing they want to get out there. I got more respect for that than the fucking, multi-billion-dollar fucking studios that just want to be completely retarded.
Yeah, I mean, you get some absolute
studios want to push a formula. And
Yeah.
I think that, everything in entertainment, every aspect of the entertainment business, there's always someone who loves the formula instead and hates innovation. They don't know it, they
Yeah.
don't phrase it that way, but we see that because of the results of what they create.
It's also everybody here has probably been on YouTube for just as long as I have. There was a time where you could get the odd YouTuber who did a better job.
You
Or
still can't.
if you or if they had just a little bit more of the Hollywood funding that they have, yeah, absolutely they could have made it just as good, if not better.
You still do, Jen.
Yeah, it's why YouTube got so popular so fast, and then
Yeah.
the TVs were all like, "Oh, YouTube, why would you watch that?"
Well, then it didn't help. You had Susan Wojcicki trying to buddy up to him, thinking that they were, going to be like that instead of YouTube being the rival of these companies.
That's
Which
the
was the
greatest
worst thing she ever
tragedy of
did.
YouTube.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The greatest tragedy of YouTube is that it was poised to completely take over the visual, even the audiovisual, let's say audiovisual entertainment business. It was absolutely poised to be a total leader in that. But no, because a couple of mainstream media outlets didn't want the competition and started their adpocalypse thing. Because the adpocalypse stuff was the result of YouTube knuckling under to mainstream media. YouTube had no
Well, that was
idea.
to activists as well, because again,
yes.
with that whole thing,
My
Susan
point being-
Wojcicki thinking they were going to be colleagues in the entertainment industry instead of rivals because she was dumb.
Yeah, she was an idiot.
She's a dumb shit.
Probably still
Well,
is.
hold on.
Which
Well,
makes
she's
me
deceased, but hold on. While she was dumb in that aspect, you also have to give her I still give her props for the fact that she took what was considered basically a tax write-off of a company and made it fucking profitable. And when she made it because of the whole thing of like the paying more YouTubers, the super chats and shit like that, she brought YouTube from something that was always in the red to being in the black. And then because of that, she's like, oh, okay, well now all of these other media companies will see me as a colleague instead of as a rival. And all those media companies have a fucking channel on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's where they blew it. That is absolutely where YouTube blew it. YouTube would have had, could have had an NBC channel, an ABC channel, a BBC channel, a Channel 4 channel on YouTube, and they could have profited on it mutually. But no, YouTube created a situation where these other, legacy media outlets thought it was more profitable to create their own streaming service.
Well, the streaming service was in response to Netflix, not to YouTube.
Well, true, but they could have gone with YouTube and done a profit share on the advertisement, and everyone.
Oh, hell yeah!
Fine. But instead, because of Netflix, yes, I agree. In response to Netflix, and also as a result of YouTube not doing proper business with them in the first place, they all decided to create their own streaming systems, and it's a clusterfuck now.
Yeah.
It's no different
now. It's like cable.
Cable.
It's also the amount of damage that a lot of those companies have done to themselves anyway. Like
And I'm jumping off for a quick second because I'm at home.
We're about to close.
Switching over my internet also fucks up anyways. So
we're about to.
Yeah, we're about to end anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out. Aside from the technical difficulty that we had earlier, that you didn't hear me, thank God. It's been a good stream, like honestly.
But then he realised his mic wasn't there.
Well, there's Rodden.
Uh-oh.
Back. Hi, Rodden.
But
I'm back.
Just in time to say goodbye.
We may be back tomorrow night or tonight because Sanguine has a family thing that he needs to get to, so I may be taking over again for him tonight. So if it pans out, you will get a second Millions of Zoo in Space. If not, you will get Sanguine's show. So look forward to that. So say goodbye to the nice people and the semi-nice people and the assholes.
Rock on.
Bye.
Go away.
I have parting words.
Oh, go ahead.
Batman, would you
Yes.
be interested in a little carny?
In a little what?
No,
In a little what?
Carny.
Can't hear what you're saying. A little what?
A little carny.
As in a carnival or
no, Carney, Mark
carnival
Carney.
worker? What?
Mark Carney. Our prime minister.
Oh.
It was the funniest way I could say it.
All right.
No.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Rock on.
Later.
Cool.
Alright.
Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. I know who I wanna take me home. Take me home. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.